Rick Lagena and his team, along with Scott Barlow, have discovered an artifact at the Money Pit, a historic site in Oak Island. The discovery has not only sparked interest, but also raises serious concerns among the team, pointing to a darker, more mysterious history than anyone expected. The discovery of a wooden tunnel from the 17th century, connected to an area known as the Baby Blob, has raised questions about whether someone deliberately removed parts of the tunnel to make it collapse and hide something extremely valuable. With the garden shaft now extended to 106 feet, the team was ready to start a detailed drilling operation, led by experts from Dumas Contracting Limited. They took samples every 10 feet to analyze their historical and material content. However, water started pouring into the shaft from the holes drilled around the 97-foot mark, suggesting they might have hit one of the island's flood tunnels, which had frustrated treasure hunters for over 200 years. Marty Lagina, known for being skeptical, wondered what the missing tunnel sections could mean. The drilling wasn't just about machines digging into the earth. It was a careful search for the truth. The metals found in the water and the physical evidence they had gathered only strengthened their resolve. Rick and his team were now more certain than ever that they were close to a significant discovery, following in the footsteps of past explorers who had tried and failed to unlock the island's secrets. During a descent into the newly exposed part of the tunnel, Rick found large, uniquely shaped wooden beams that confirmed the tunnel's existence and historical importance. These beams, which varied in shape from round to slender, suggested they had different structural roles, possibly as supports within the tunnel. This discovery was a turning point, providing solid proof that challenged previous doubts about the tunnel's existence. The different designs of the beams hinted at a complex construction technique that could date back to the 17th century, as earlier samples confirmed through carbon dating. The team's next move was to remove some of these beams for further study, hoping that more detailed analysis could reveal the construction timeline and possibly lead them to the treasures that the island was rumored to hide. But this phase of the exploration was crucial, as proving that these timbers were part of the original structure might finally connect them to the long-lost treasures hidden beneath Oak Island. Gary, an experienced excavator, arrived at the dig site with his trusty metal detector and a determined mindset. His efforts soon paid off when his detector signaled the presence of a metal object, suggesting it was from an earlier time, potentially offering important clues about the past. As the excavation continued, the team remained focused on precision. They carefully set up survey control points along the tunnel, which would help them create accurate maps of the underground structure. One of the most significant finds of the day was a piece of timber shaped by an adze, a tool that was used before the advent of modern machinery and was common until the 18th century. Holding this relic gave the team a real sense of the history they were uncovering. As the day drew to a close, the team felt energized and more connected to the secrets of the tunnel. They planned to use horizontal drilling techniques to explore deeper sections of the tunnel, hoping to locate the source of the precious metals their instruments had detected. Rick and his team left the site that evening with renewed energy and a deep appreciation for the historical significance of their finds. Each piece of timber and every artifact they uncovered added to the larger puzzle, bringing them closer not just to potential treasures but also to understanding a story that had been hidden for centuries. In 2020, a team of researchers led by Rick Lagena, Gary Drayton, and Billy Gerhardt discovered a swamp on Oak Island that held secrets. They were particularly interested in finding artifacts similar to ship parts they had discovered in previous years, dating back to between the 15th and 18th centuries. Their most surprising discovery was a ship's railing carbon dated to as early as the 8th century, suggesting that the swamp might hold stories far older and more significant than anyone had previously imagined. During the dig, Gary made a light-hearted comment about the scent of treasure in the air, capturing the team's hopeful spirit. He suggested that it might be a keel runner that had broken off if the ship had struck rocks. This idea resonated with the team as they pondered the swamp's mysterious past. Another intriguing discovery was a wooden wall or dam, which reminded them of a similar find made over 30 years ago by Fred Nolan, a former treasure hunter on Oak Island. Nolan had believed the structure was part of a dam built centuries ago to hide something valuable. Dr. Ian Spooner, a geoscientist, was interested in dating the wood and exploring its possible connection to a nearby ancient stone road, believed to be about 500 years old. This road might have been part of a larger network used for transporting goods, suggesting significant historical activity in the area. In the northern part of the swamp, Marty Lagina and geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner began exploring an area that had piqued their interest. They discussed the possibility of finding something valuable, possibly linked to the Knights Templar near Nolan's Cross. Billy Gerhardt had recently uncovered a massive boulder resting on what appeared to be a man-made stone structure, leading the team to speculate whether the boulder had been deliberately placed there in the past. Dr. Spooner moved the boulder aside to investigate, hoping to determine if the stone structure was a natural formation or something created by human hands. The real surprise came when Dr. Spooner found a stick wedged between the boulder and the sediment below, suggesting that the boulder had indeed been moved intentionally, possibly to control water flow in the swamp. This discovery fueled the team's curiosity even more, leading them to wonder if the swamp had been engineered to serve a purpose that was still unknown. The next day, Gary and Billy discovered several tree stumps and layers of trees in a part of the swamp where trees normally wouldn't grow, supporting Dr. Spooner's theory that the swamp had been altered by people centuries ago, possibly to change how the land was used. As the excavation continued, Jack and Billy came across a pit lined with rocks and a circular arrangement of stones that seemed too deliberate to be natural, supporting John Edwards' theory and suggesting that someone in the past had gone to great lengths to modify the landscape. Among the artifacts they found were pieces of cut wood and other wooden objects that looked too crafted to have been formed naturally in the swamp. These finds, which might be older than any recorded history of Oak Island, spurred the team to dig deeper into the island's past and question who might have been behind these changes. This realization made them more cautious about their next steps. Recognizing the importance of this site, the team agreed not to make any drastic changes to the area until Dr. Spooner could perform more detailed analyses. They were hopeful that continued exploration would reveal more about the people who had once altered this part of the swamp. Oak Island, a mysterious island in the Bahamas, has been the site of a series of archaeological discoveries. Last year, a team of researchers found a 600-year-old lead coin in Lot 5, which sparked excitement about what else might be hidden there. The team then discovered a large, lustrous button that looked like it might be gold-plated, and a piece of silverware with an intricately designed handle. These discoveries added new pieces to the puzzle of Oak Island's mysterious past, hinting at the high status of the person who had worn it, possibly an officer from the 18th century. The intricate design and craftsmanship of the button suggested that it was part of a ceremonial or military uniform. However, the team also discovered an old shoe with metal studs, a clear sign of its historical origins. This shoe was found near a stone pathway, suggesting that the path had been used over many years, possibly even centuries. As they dug deeper, they began uncovering a variety of artifacts, including coins and pieces of pottery. Each new find brought them closer to understanding the area's rich and complex past. Leading the exploration were Marty and Rick Lagena, along with their colleague, Craig Tester. They focused their efforts on the southern part of the swamp, a place filled with historical and cultural remnants. There, they uncovered a hidden wooden structure beneath a stone road, which was significant because it suggested that the history of the area might need to be reconsidered. The team noticed the expert craftsmanship that reminded him of log cabin construction, where timbers are carefully joined together. Beneath this structure, they found more wooden supports and underbrush, suggesting that the construction might have been suddenly abandoned. This wasn't just a simple pathway, it was a major project now lost to time and buried by the swamp. The logs placed across the road seemed to have a special purpose, perhaps hiding the true function or destination of the road. Marty speculated that this road could lead to a hidden treasure, especially after the recent discoveries of ancient chains and other intriguing artifacts at the road's end. Among these was a large, hand-forged chain and hook from the 16th century, which might have been used at a spot where ships once docked to unload valuable cargo. The team's further investigation of the chain supported the idea that it was part of a complex system used to move heavy loads over difficult terrain. This suggested that the road was an important part of a larger operation, likely involving the transport of valuable items from ships to a hidden location deeper on the island. As they continued to explore, they encountered large stones and possible markers that hinted at a carefully planned infrastructure. These findings made Marty, who initially doubted the swamp's importance, rethink its significance. Each new artifact brought them closer to understanding the island's mysterious past, rekindling their enthusiasm for the search.